at 1:30 in the afternoon with Judge Millian. If you're in custody, she'll see you by video. If you're out of custody, sir, you must appear for that hearing. If you're not there, a warrant could issue and you could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. Do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court?
For our case, or on the 2nd of January.
I don't know, sir. I would talk to your attorney about that. Okay. All right. Good luck, sir.
Am I being released?
$2,500 bond. So if you pay the bond, you won't be released.
Dale, is Mr. Fuerza still in the hospital?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's okay. Then I'm going to continue this to the evening session, or the morning session.
Garcia. Both Garcias. Peterman. Santa Maria. And Williams. Yeah.
Hi, sir. What's your full name?
Alonso Garcia.
All right, sir, you're here because you have a warrant out of Douglas Justice Court. It looks like it is a post-adjudication warrant on a domestic violence assault charge. I am going to enter a not guilty plea or a denial for you on those charges. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense. Sir, the judge there is asking for a $2,500 bond. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 secured. I'm ordering that you do not commit any acts of domestic violence and that you follow all conditions of probation or release that were previously imposed in this case. I'm going to appoint the Cochise County Public Defender's Office to represent you on this case. Do you have any questions about your court date or your release conditions, sir?
So I have to pay $1,000 to get out?
It's a secured bond, so you can pay that amount of money or put up property that's worth that amount of money or go through a bondsman. But yes, sir, and they're going to send you to Douglas.
So I'm being transported over there?
You should be transported over there, yes. And then, hold on, I'm going to set a hearing here. What should the hearing be called, though? It says case management.
Okay.
Counseling?
Counseling?
Setting it in Douglas on that date, but I'm releasing him. I mean, I'm not releasing him.
OR? No?
Hold on, sir, hold on. So, but they're going to see him before that, right?
You know, today is
That's what I don't understand. Is I'm not.
November 6th. Thursday. Wednesday. Sí, pero is it Wednesday or Thursday? Exactly. Okay, like 25 for the show.
I want to make sure that I'm clear with you about the procedure. So I'm setting bond in $1,000. You're not getting released unless you post that bond. We're going to tell Douglas to come get you. And I'm setting a court date there on November 21st at 9:30. If for any reason you get released from custody before then, you must appear for that hearing. If you're not there, a warrant could issue and you could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. Everything else that I said is still the case. Do you have any questions, sir?
So like there's like I don't have $1,000, but I have like enough to get there. You know, like if I have court
Sir,
there.
I'm not going to change the release conditions. The judge is actually asking for a $2,500 bond. I'm setting it at less than half. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
By the time that would be paid, they would have already come for me, right?
By what?
Like so they have to come for me, right?
They have to come get you, yes.
And like No, excuse me. What were you saying? Sorry about that.
If they don't come get you within a reasonable amount of time, then you'll be released on your own signature and you still need to appear on November 21st at 9:30.
November 21st. Okay.
You're gonna get that in writing, sir.
So say if somehow God would pay the $1,000.
Then you need to go to court on November 21st at 9:30 in the morning. So if you are not in a jail on November 21st at 9:30, you need to be at the Douglas Justice Court right that day at that time. If you're in jail, then they'll make sure you get seen.
Yes, because that's like 2 weeks, but dang, you'll be in jail for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, so they would, because I like it's really not possible really to get the $1,000, and then, but I'm talking to the judge.
She already gave you a bond and she explained it to you already.
Yeah, I know she explained it, but I was asking her a question.
Okay. So, sir, here, listen to what I'm saying, okay?
Yes.
Your bond is $1,000 secured. If you post bond, go to court on November 21st at 9:30 at Douglas Justice Court. If you don't post bond and Douglas does not come to get you, you will get released from the jail. If that happens, then you need to go to court on November 21st at 9:30. But if Douglas comes to get you, then they are going to see you when they come get you, and they have 72 hours to come get you.
Okay, yes, that's what I wanted to know, the 72-hour thing,
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right. No problem, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
You go out,
You have a good day. Night.
you go out that door, just go down the ramp on the stairs, just say now.
That's you.
See you.
Thanks. Take a seat. Yes.
All right, sir. What is your full name?
Raymond Michael Gracia.
All right.
Raymond.
You're here because you have a warrant out of Marana Municipal Court on charges of indecent exposure and 2 counts of failure to appear. I am going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing Janet Altschuler to represent you. Sir, I am setting bond in the amount of $350 secured. I'm ordering that you do not have any contact with the alleged victim. Do not go to the victim's residence or workplace and follow all release conditions that were previously set in this case. I'm setting a court date tomorrow at noon before the judge in Marana City Court. If you're in custody, she'll see you by video. If you're not in custody, then you need to either appear for that hearing or make sure you're in touch with your attorney before then. Her name and number will be in your paperwork.
You got me all wrong. You got me all wrong with somebody else. It's incorrect. I was just taking a bath in the Santa Cruz River. I don't have any sexual rape or anything.
Right.
You got me all wrongly accused.
Sir, I can't talk to you about the facts of your case. All I know is that you had a charge and you failed to appear for court twice, and that's why you ended up with a warrant.
Oh yeah, I just was taking a bath in the
Yeah,
Santa
I
Cruz
can't
River.
talk to you about the facts of your case. I'm not your judge. You need to talk to your attorney about that. All right. Good luck, sir.
All she's saying is the bond date or court date when you appear, right? That's all she's doing for you. The judge will have you have another judge for a different time for that case. Okay.
I was like taking a bath. That's all wrong. Wrong. Wrong.
Hi, sir. What's your full name?
James D. Peterman.
All right. Sir, you are here on 3 things. First of all, you have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court. The charges in that case are disorderly conduct as a domestic violence offense and assault as a domestic violence offense. You also have 2 new cases in justice court. In each one, you're charged with interfering with judicial proceedings as a domestic violence offense. On all of these, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing Adam Waters to represent you. Sir, on the warrant, I'm setting bond in the amount of $1,000 cash only. On the 2 new charges, on each case, I'm setting bond in the amount of $2,000 cash only. That means your total bond is $5,000 cash only. I'm ordering that you do not have any alcohol or illegal drugs, do not commit any acts of domestic violence, do not possess any firearms or weapons. If you do own any, you need to surrender them to law enforcement. You're not to have any contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. You are not to go to that person's residence or workplace, and you are ordered to follow all court orders. That includes injunctions against harassment and orders of protection and release conditions in your criminal cases. Your next court date is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If you're in custody, you'll be seen by Judge Foster by video. If you're out of custody, sir, you need to appear at the Pima County Justice Court for that hearing. If you're not there, a warrant could issue. Do you have any questions about your court date or your release conditions?
Well, so I went to court on the 30th of October, and I also went to court on the 31st of October.
Well, sir, these
And-
are new charges. 2 of these are new charges from today.
From today.
That's what it says on the citation. It says they happened today. So you need to talk, sir, you've got to talk to your attorney about it, okay?
I was nowhere near her
Sir,
today.
you've got to talk to your attorney about it, okay? You're gonna see a judge tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and you have an attorney. You need to talk to them and deal with this tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
She has an additional appearance.
Good luck.
She's setting the bar whether you can stay or be released. She has nothing to do with this case. That's right.
Yeah.
Go outside. I know it's important, but. Mr. Santos Maria, go sit down right there, sir. Yeah, right there.
Hi, sir, what's your full name? All right, sir, you're here because you have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court. Looks like this is a warrant for failure to appear on charges of disorderly conduct as a domestic violence offense. The judge assigned to your case asked that bond be set in the amount of $2,499. Sir, on this case, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,500 secured. I'm ordering that you do not commit any acts of domestic violence and that you follow all release conditions that are previously set. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint Anna Dennis to be your attorney. Her name and phone number will be in your paperwork. Your next court date on this is November 7th at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's tomorrow. You will be seen by video if you're in custody. If you're released from custody before then, you must appear for that hearing or a warrant could issue. In addition, sir, you have 2 cases in Tucson City Court. In both of these cases, you failed to appear and a warrant issued. The charges are criminal trespass, failure to appear, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, criminal trespass, and failure to appear. On these cases, I will enter a not guilty plea for you. Again, you have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Sir, on these cases, you have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. In addition, sir, you could be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could also lose your right to appeal. On these cases, I am setting bond in the amount of $100 secured. I'm ordering that you do not go back to the incident location. Your next court date on this is November 15th at 1:45. You'll be seen by video. If you're released from custody before then, sir, your court date changes to December 9th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And again, you must appear for that hearing. Do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court dates, sir?
If I get out today,
No, you're not getting out today, sir. You're held on bond in 2 cases.
thank you.
Okay.
So go ahead out. Same door you came in, head down.
Well,
Go there.
Hi, what's your full name?
Elizabeth Ann Williams.
All right, ma'am, you are here on a couple different things. First of all, you have a warrant on 2 cases out of Tucson City Court. It looks like the charges are assault as a domestic violence offense, failure to appear, refusing to provide your truthful name to law enforcement, and failure to appear. On those cases, ma'am, you have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you and appointing the city public defender's office to represent you. You do have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could lose your right to appeal. In addition, you could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. Ma'am, in these cases, I'm setting bond in the amount of $500 secured. I'm ordering that you do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, do not commit any acts of domestic violence, do not have any contact with Erica Tellez, and do not go to her residence or workplace. Your next court date is November 13th at 1:30 in the afternoon at Tucson City Court with Judge Millian. You must appear for that hearing. If you're not there, like I said, a warrant could issue. In addition, you have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on charges of disorderly conduct as a domestic violence offense and failure to appear. On that case, I'm going to release you on your own signature. I'm ordering that you do not commit any acts of domestic violence and that you follow all release conditions previously set. Your next court date on that is December 11th at 10:30 in the morning with Judge Ball. You must appear for that hearing or a warrant would issue. Do you have any questions about your court dates or your release conditions, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
All right, good
No,
luck.
ma'am. Thank you.
What's your name?
Elizabeth Scratch.
Yeah. Hey, Alonso Cruz Jonathan.
I don't feel this. Yeah.
Take your arm up. You're gonna sit down right there. You'll be up. You're almost there.
Hi, sir. What is your full name?
Jonathan Delano Cruz.
All right. Sir, you are here because you have new charges of disorderly conduct and assault as domestic violence offenses. You also have a new charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. In addition, it looks like you have 3 cases already pending with Judge Millian, and those are set for November 21st already. Sir, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing Scott Redmond to represent you. You have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. You could also be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could lose your right to appeal. I'm setting bond in the amount of $2,500 secured. I'm ordering that you do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, do not commit any acts of domestic violence, do not possess any firearms or weapons, do not have any contact with the alleged victims, do not go to the victim's residence or workplace. And your next court date on this is November 13th. Sir, that court date, if you're in custody, you'll be seen by video. If you're out of custody, you must appear for that court date. Do you have any questions?
So, you're not releasing me?
I'm not releasing you. You have a bond of $2,500 secured. Do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court date?
So, when can I get released then?
Yeah, all right. So you get released if you pay the bond. Until you pay the bond, you're here until your court date. Go to stand up.
You're not.
You go out that door?
You're this way.
You can go out that door, go down the stairs to the pit, just hang out. Next, you're next after this. One more. Alison?
So are you representing you?
No, I don't think you're on the calendar.
And you on the calendar?
Yeah, misdemeanor.
Hi, ma'am. What's your full
I
name?
think so.
Alison go there.
All right, ma'am, you are here because you have new charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting arrest, and jaywalking. You also have a warrant on for failure to appear on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and failure to appear. You have a warrant on possessions of drug paraphernalia and failure to appear. And then you have a warrant for failure to appear at a sentencing review in 2 other cases, all in Tucson City Court. Ma'am, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. You could also be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could lose your right to appeal. Ma'am, on the new charges, I'm setting a bond of $250 secured. On the older charges, I'm also setting a bond of $250 secured. So that gets you $500 total bond, and that's a secured bond. I'm ordering that you follow all conditions of probation. Like I said, the Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your next court date on this is November 14th at 1:45. You must appear for that hearing. If you're in custody, you'll see Judge Blue by video. If you're out of custody, you must appear at Tucson City Court to see Judge Blue. Do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court date? No?
No.
Good luck, ma'am.
You're, yeah.
Hi, hi, Judge. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just trying to get out of infection. They raped me while I was out there, and I missed court because I was sick. I got sick because of it. I was hiding with my family.
Ma'am, you've got a bunch of things going on here. And let me go through them, okay? So you have warrants,
Okay.
you have warrants in Tucson City Court on 4 cases. In one case, in one case, you're charged with criminal trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a prescription-only drug. And the other case, you're charged with 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia and failure to appear. You also have warrants on some post-adjudication cases where you did not appear for court. That's 2 other cases. On all of those, I'm going to enter a not guilty. Well, on the new charges, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea. On all of those, you have the right to remain silent and you have the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. You do have the right to be present at all hearings. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. You could also be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days, you could lose your right to appeal. Ma'am, I understand what you're telling me, but based on your failure to appear history, I am going to set a bond. I'm going to set bond in amount of $250 secured on the unadjudicated cases and $250 secured on the adjudicated cases, which makes it $500 total. That is a secured bond. I'm ordering that you follow all conditions of probation and do not go back to the incident location. Your next court date is November 14th at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you're in custody, Judge Blue will see you by video. If you're out of custody, you must appear at Tucson City Court for that hearing.
How do I know if I'm in or out of custody? Are you letting me go?
I'm not letting you out, ma'am. You're gonna, unless you need to talk to your attorney, and you're gonna see Judge Blue on November 14th, but I'm not going to release you at this point, no.
Okay.
Ma'am, you also have a case out of Marana. It looks like you have a warrant for failure to appear on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia. On that case, I'm going to release you. I'm going to order that you follow all release conditions that were previously set, but I'm going to give you a court date tomorrow to see the judge there since you're in custody. That way you can talk to her about your case and maybe take care of it. So that's tomorrow at noon with Marana City Court. And you'll be seen by video from the jail, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good luck, ma'am.
Where are we going? Where are we going? Do we have to go back in that room or can we go to our bed?
Wait for me to explain this, because so many people don't understand what I'm doing.
Okay, what?
Okay, am I getting enough?
I got it.
Better way to-
Baka. Bonilla. Galante. Johnson. Olivas. Yeah. So then right there's in that chair part. There's those ideas. But there's one. So what's together? Yeah. That's us. Johnson. Yeah.
All right, sir, what's your full name?
William Bo Baka.
All right, sir, you're here on two different things. First of all, you have a new felony case. The charges are possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotic drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the legal defender's office to represent you. In that case, pretrial services is telling me that you are a level 2 out of 4 risk for nonviolent felony offenses. The state is asking for pretrial services release. I am going to release you to pretrial services. I'm ordering that you do not have any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and you must submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial services. Sir, I'm going to give you 2 different court dates on this. The first court date is Smart Court, and that is the hearing that is the most important. Smart Court is a program where if you show up for court, you agree to do some outpatient treatment, and you complete that treatment, then the state will either give you a better plea offer than they would normally give you, or they might even give you a chance to earn a dismissal through a diversion program, okay? The key though, sir, is that if you miss that first hearing, then you lose the opportunity to do Smart Court, and they're going to indict this and charge it just like any other felony, okay? So it's very important that you go to Pima County Superior Court on November 13th at 9 a.m. And then counsel, is he waiving time for the preliminary hearings?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's 45 days, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sir, you're next. I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing on December 20th of 2024 at 1:30 in the afternoon. That court date, though, is almost certainly going to change. So make sure you go to court on November 13th and then go back whenever the judge, pretrial, or your lawyer tells you to. Sir, in addition, you have a case in Tucson City Court. You're charged with theft and criminal damage. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney on that case, although not necessarily at court expense. You have the right to be present at all future hearings. If you're not present, a warrant could issue. You could be charged with failure to appear as a separate criminal offense. You could also be tried and convicted in your absence. And if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could lose your right to appeal. Sir, on the misdemeanor case, I'm going to release you on your own signature. I'm going to order that you do not have any contact with the victims and do not go back to their residence or workplace. Your next court date on that is December 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning at Tucson City Court with Judge Verena. You must appear for that hearing, sir. Do you have any questions about your court dates or your release conditions? All right, good luck, sir. Why is this not opening? I can't open the pretrial services reports all of a sudden. It says JavaScript, do post back CT, bunch of gobbledygook. That's what I'm going to try right now. Still doing the same thing. All right, I logged out. Let's try that.
Hello. And I need just a moment, Your Honor.
Sir, I just finally got the pretrial services workup to open, so go ahead. I'll read this while you talk to him.
Right, I'm ready, Your Honor.
All right, give me one moment here. All right, sir, what's your full name?
Angel Martino Bonilla.
All right, sir, you're here because you have a warrant out of Cochise County. Looks like you failed to appear on charges of theft of means of transportation and unlawful use of a means of transportation. I will enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. Pretrial services is telling me that you are level 3 out of 4 risk for nonviolent felony offenses. The state is not making a recommendation because this is an out of county case. However, I am going to note for the record that you were previously arrested in Pima County. Bond was set at $15,000. You were returned to Cochise County and you failed to appear again. Defense counsel.
Your Honor, he is unemployed and homeless, so the current warrant amount, I believe, is for 25,000. I don't think that's necessary at all, and so we'd be asking for no more than a $5,000 bond. I'd also like to note, Your Honor, it looks like he's already taken a plea. He just needs to be sentenced.
My concern is that last time he was held on a $15,000 bond. And I'm assuming they released him, that he didn't post that.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $10,000 secured. Sir, if you post that bond, you're released to pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and you must submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial services. I'm ordering that you don't have any contact with any alleged victim, and do not go to the victim's residence or workplace. I'm appointing the Cochise County Public Defender's Office to represent you. Their phone number will be in your paperwork. And I'm setting a review hearing here on December 6th at 9 a.m. So what that means, sir, is that Cochise County should come get you on December 6th. What we're going to do is just make sure that they came to get you. So don't worry about the December 6th hearing. If you get out, you just need to do what Cochise County Superior Court tells you to do. Do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court date?
No.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you. What is that? It's 11?
Hello.
Hi, sir, what's your full name?
Christopher Escalante,
Did you have a middle name?
Walter.
Sir, you're here because you've been charged with 2 counts of aggravated robbery and 2 counts of armed robbery. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Pretrial services tells me that you are in the lowest risk category for violent felony offenses. The state is asking for a $50,000 bond. Defense counsel,
Your Honor, we're asking that you give him a chance on pretrial services. Like you noted, he is a level 1. He's only a 1 on the FTA scale, a 2 on the NCA scale, and he doesn't have an active NBCA flag. He's only 20 years old with no priors. He has housing, he works, he goes to school. He would have provided a phone number, but his roommate's phone number is in his phone. So he couldn't provide that. It looks like based on the interim complaint, he was also just the accomplice. I'm not seeing any accusation that he pointed anything at anyone. So given all those factors, Your Honor, we're asking you give him a chance on pretrial services. If you're inclined for a bond, then no more than a $5,000 bond.
all right. I have to balance the risk assessment with the fact that the facts of this case are very, very concerning to me. He has no felony criminal history, but he is described as being very actively involved in this. It was 2 separate incidents. He was violent in one of them, according to the interim complaint, and this was planned out ahead of time. Given all of those factors and the fact that there was a gun involved, I'm very concerned about the safety of the community. I'm setting bond in the amount of $25,000 secured. Sir, if you post bond, you're released to pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial. You're not to have any contact whatsoever with the alleged victims. You cannot go to their residence or workplace, and you cannot return to the incident location. Your next court date in this is November 18th at 1:30 in the afternoon. However, that court date is very likely to change. If you are released from custody, make sure you stay in touch with both your attorney and with pretrial services so that you know when your next court date is. If you miss it, you will get a warrant. Do you have any questions about your release conditions or your court date?
Am I released today?
No, sir. I set bond in the amount of $25,000 secured, and your attorney can answer what questions about what that means. Okay? All right. Good luck, sir. Gotta find a better way.
Hello.
Hi, sir, what's your full name?
Anthony Jonathan Jeremiah Johnson.
All right, sir, you are here because you have a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court. Counsel, do you want to waive reading?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I am going to enter a not guilty plea. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. The bond on the warrant is $7,500, and that is the amount the state is asking for. Pretrial services tells me you are in a level 2 out of 4 for risk assessment for nonviolent felony offenses. I see, sir, that you have some criminal history, but it looks like the most recent offense was in 2019. And I don't see any offenses that are similar to this in any way. I am noting for the record that you originally, the state did not seek a warrant. They apparently got an indictment and then sent a summons. I don't have any proof that the summons was ever served, and the warrant issued when you failed to appear. Counsel, if you want to be heard, I'll hear from you, but my inclination is to release him to pretrial services for all of those reasons.
That's what we'd be asking for, Your Honor.
All right. So, sir, I am going to release you to pretrial services. I'm ordering that you do not have any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and submit to any monitoring or treatment that is directed by pretrial services. To the extent that there's a specific victim, and I don't know if there is or not on this case, but if there is an identifiable victim, sir, I'm ordering that you don't have any contact with that person and you don't go to their residence or workplace. Your next, hold on. Anything you say today can be used against you, so don't say anything. I'm just saying, if there's someone who's listed as a victim and you know who that person is, don't have contact with them, okay? Your next court date on this is November 13th at 1:30. That is an arraignment hearing and that is not going to change. You have to appear for that hearing. If you're not there, a warrant would issue. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, just
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else you could ask?
Okay.
All right. Good
No,
luck.
ma'am.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Everybody can quote these things.
So,
Hi, ma'am. What's your full name?
Hello, Magdalena Olivas.
Do you have a middle name?
Magdalena Marie.
Maria?
Yes.
Ma'am, you're here because you have a warrant out of Cochise County. It looks like you failed to appear on charges of possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. Although I'm likely not going to appoint one today. I'm going to let Cochise County take care of that. Ma'am, the warrant, it looks like these charges are from 2018 and the warrant issued in 2020. If I release you today, are you going to go to court?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release you to pretrial services. I am going to order that you do not have any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and you must submit to any monitoring or treatment that's directed by pretrial services. And then I'm going to order that you contact the Cochise County Superior Court by 4 o'clock on Friday to get a court date and then go to that court date, okay? Give me one moment. Oh, wait a minute. Is it Cochise or Coconino? Oh, it's Cochise. Sorry. I clicked the wrong thing on here. That's my fault. Here we go. There we go. All right. Contact the Cochise County Superior Court by 4 o'clock p.m. on Friday, November 8th to request a court date and then appear for that court date. All right, so ma'am, the way this works is we're gonna let Cochise County know that you got arrested here and they're gonna be expecting your call. If they don't hear from you by 4 o'clock on Friday, they're gonna issue another warrant. And if you fail to appear for a future court date, they're gonna issue for a future court date, they're gonna issue a warrant. So please make sure you call them, get a court date and go to that court date. If you cannot get to that court date for some reason, talk to them about it. See if maybe there's a way for you to appear by video or something. I don't know. But you really don't want to keep getting arrested on something this old, okay? All right, any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, good luck, ma'am.
Thank you for your time.
All right, that is our entire calendar. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.